Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome to the Sunshine Study. It's joyous to be with you. I hope you are as well and as comfortable as possible. And today we're going to talk about a title that YouTube suggested that I do. I will need my spectacles on. I'm going to get some glaze put on them so there isn't the reflection, but forgive me in the meantime while I have to use them for here. So the title was Lifejoy in Action, Real Life Success Stories. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, obviously, my work is confidential, but I have some overarching themes that I can speak of comfortably without giving anything away that I shouldn't. And it's very easy to think that people who offer counselling and life coaching sessions sit in problems all the time. Now, I do listen to a lot of sadness. I listen to a lot of sorrow, disappointing behaviour, people hurt by life. But I listen to a lot of rising, growing, brave people who I can help turn that round. Doesn't mean it goes away, it doesn't mean the wound or the sadness isn't there, but it's somewhat lessened by proactive, wise guidance and action. And then there are outcomes. Actions have consequences, and consistent actions often have a harvest and abundance of goodness. So I've made a list on some post-it notes. I do love a good post-it note of some of the lovely outcomes that my clients have had. So here we go. I have had clients have dreadful social anxiety. So they don't go out, they don't want to go out, they have limited life, limited relationships, limited work, and we have got them out to normal life again. Now that's a big claim, isn't it? I've had several people frightened to go into crowded places, to go into shops. I had certain people who would go into certain shops, but not others. That was really interesting. I've had people frightened to go to social functions. I've had people terrified to go on a plane, and they've then we've worked together and we've worked hard at it. And then they've sent me a picture of them on the plane. Oh, that's been so good. And I've had people show me photographs of where they've got to as well. That's a really remarkable thing. So I'm going to read you some of the list. But we've got over a lot of social anxiety and angst in general. And when people have been terrified to do something, they've usually got their fear antennae far too wound up. And we can rein that back into wise caution. And because of that, I've also helped people who are just very shy speak in public, give wedding speeches, give a eulogy at a loved one's funeral service, do a job application form, do an interview, stand up at a family party and just thank everybody, or go to things on their own, have a meal out on their own, do things on their own, go on holiday on their own. It's been really remarkable. Join things, join a club, join a church, join a night class, or make new friends. That's been one of the best outcomes ever. That there's been enriched relationships, but also new relationships. So here's the first set of post-it notes from the top of my head. I've had clients go on the telly. It was amazing. I cannot tell you why they were on the telly, but I've had one on a documentary, I've had one on a life change, and I've had one on the news in a good way. So that was really lovely. I've had a lot of clients pay off a ton of credit card debt and dig themselves out of financial holes, but also set themselves up with good financial energy and systems and behaviour, and understood why they're motivated to spend the way they have been spending, what's going on underneath that. So people have sorted out their money, which has been lovely. They've saved money as well, which is really, really wonderful. People have also moved house, got a better place to live, got a safer sanctuary to live, or downsized, upsized, relocated. It's been phenomenal. I'm very good at helping people move house, which is really funny. But people have redone their lives. Often they've wanted to do something for a long time and not done it. So we've had lots of hobbies reenacted, restarted, or started from scratch. And people have made wonderful things, many of which are on here, which were so lovely. I've had people find their partners in life, and that's been a really great blessing to help them get out in the world in the right places to meet their person. It's been blessed. And I've met several of them, which has been wonderful. I've helped people start and grow a business and sustain a business. And that has been such a blessing because that means they can earn and they're independent somewhat. And I have a qualification in business strategy, and I've been self-employed for 15 years. So I've learned a lot, and I can help people start, but I can help people sustain as well. I've had people change careers dramatically, and I've been terrified, but they've been confident. So we've guided each other along. Big career changes. We've had promotions, we've had interviews, and we've had scaling back to retire early or slightly tweak what they do or go 3 or 4 days a week. And that's really fitted them well. We found work that is wise for them, and I've loved that. And I've had people go and do interviews when they've been terrified of doing an interview and do well and receive wonderful feedback. Even if they didn't get the job, they got the next job and it was better. And I've had people get the job as well. So it's been magic. Past exams, yes, yes, yes. I've had a lot of people wonder whether they're capable of doing a course. One client came to me and asked me to teach them to revise, and I did, and they flourished. And I've helped lots of people over the years learn to revise, learn to be tested, learn to produce information in the right way, and do exams well. There's a real skill to it, and we've done a lot there. We've had a couple of degrees, we've had lots of diplomas and certificates, and I've also had one MSc. And I think I've got a couple of people maybe doing doctorates. I've just had one woman finish a doctorate, and I helped her for free, so that was really magical. I've helped people win appeals for unjust processes. I've helped people have very difficult consultations with doctors and with people in authority. And I've also helped people get pets. I'm sorry, the people who bought puppies and they've wrecked their houses because they liked my dog. But I've had a lot of people get a pet that has given them great joy because they've always wanted to do it. And maybe the time was right now. I've had lots of people have sessions with me that somebody else has paid for. That's been quite a thing. I've had gift tokens. I've had people buy a session for their adult daughter or for their sister or their best friend. That's been really lovely. I've had a lot of funding that I've helped people get with access to work. And I've had employers pay for sessions. And that took so much work, but I did it. And I had one client have 2 sets of very considerable number of sessions, and their employer paid because I put a very good case towards that. I've helped a lot of people speak in public and a lot of people write their books. And so far we've had 19 books written. It's pretty good, isn't it, that weren't written before? I've helped somebody get their child into a chosen school because we wrote the process and did the strategy. I've helped somebody else get their child into a different set in school and they were much, much happier. I've helped people work their way to a diagnosis in medical chaos. I've helped people get their allowances restored, and that has been a mighty battle. I've helped people with their boundaries. That's been a huge thing, so that they look after their energy, that they can do things. I've had people so unwell and exhausted, but desperate to go to a family wedding or party. How do we do it? And we've managed it. They've not managed all of it. It's not been perfect, but it's been reasonable and lovely. Excellence is still available, doesn't have to be perfect. I've helped mend a lot of marriages, and I'm very pleased about this by the grace of God. I had a couple of people who have not mended their marriages because they weren't needing to be mended, they needed to be left. And they've gone on and found happier times. But the where we can mend things, I love that so much. People mend, God heals, I believe. But I've taught people to debate rather than argue. And I've taught people to how to have enriched relationships, which I love so much. People have made new friends, they've been restored. And I put a big one under here. They have decluttered. And we declutter our lives in many ways. You know, we might do weeding in the garden, we might do a declutter and take a load of stuff to the skip or the charity shop or the tip, or we might give things away or sell some things, or we make some space and some order, or we just declutter our lives a bit because they're too busy, and we manage our energy. So that is just a whistle-stop tour of some of the outcomes of the Lifejoy work. And what I hope I've done, most importantly, is help people see their own worth again. That they are fearfully and wonderfully made. There's much more within them than they think. And when people see their own goodness, they become powerhouses of goodness for other people. And when we live with industry, so we work hard, intellect, we think hard, and integrity, our souls are full of compassion and wisdom and doing the right thing. We do the best version of ourselves and we keep growing. And that's what I want. I want us to grow and give together so that there's loving purpose from all of the adversity that I have had, and it is not wasted. It is used to good and loving purpose. But that's what Lifejoy is all about, and that's just some of the outcomes. And then I've had people do things that I wouldn't have ever believed possible. I had one client write their own website. It's amazing. But one of the things I've done is I've sat in places where I've watched clients perform or speak in public or take a service or do a wedding speech, and I've been a guest. And nobody knows I've coached them or helped them or even written the thing that they're doing. And they're shining. And that's really magical. Let your light shine and help other people to shine their light too. So take care, my friends. God bless. Be safe. Go gently. It's been a joy to be with you. And if you need help with any of those things, those burnt out areas of your life where you'd like some balance, some blessing, some bravery, and some beauty, give me a call, give me a message, drop a comment, and come and see how we can work together. Take care, my friends. Look after your joy.